Hello, everyone. Welcome to your first discussion post in your first week in this macro level course. I'm going to walk you through the first two discussions that are in this week one module. The first is services related to a social work case, and you're going to be reading about Anita and her children and assessing and reflecting on the kinds of services that ideally would be provided to Anita and her children given her circumstances, and then also reflecting on what are the barriers and the issues that might prevent Anita and her children from getting the services that they need. This is a macro practitioner course, so of course you're going to be reflecting at the organizational level and the policy level and the environmental level, but it is also incredibly important that you stay connected to your clients and the kinds of needs that individuals and families are in need of as the world continues to evolve and change. All right. So just as a reminder, this post will be between 200 and 500 words. Please include citations if you are referencing the reading material, which I believe you will be, as well as any other materials that you use. And I do want you to think from a holistic perspective as you are reading Anita's case and reflecting on both services provided in an ideal world, but also the kinds of barriers and challenges that exist. So consider her physical environment, the time that it might take her to get from point A to point B. Consider also, um, physical ability and the kinds of basic human needs that you need to be able to function: clothing, food, housing. In her environment, in addition to transportation, um, you know, is Anita and her are Anita and her children safe? Um, Consider mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being and the kinds of services that could be provided to support Anita in that way. Experiential services. So, what is Anita's experience as a human being, and what are the kinds of factors that influence her sense of self, behaviors, and choices, both for herself and her family? So there's a lot of different ways that you can think about this. Again, I encourage you to use a holistic perspective. And again, the reason that this is really important is to stay connected to what individuals that are accessing services at a human service organization, what do they need ideally, and what are the kinds of barriers and issues that exist in accessing those services. I look forward to reading those posts. Your second discussion post is around getting to know an organization, and I really like this exercise because social workers work in all different kinds of contexts, whether it's an educational context, hospitals, government, you name it, social workers are there. And I want you to reflect on the context in which you are practicing social work, and then what your role is in this given organization. In terms of what organization you should be choosing, if you are currently working within a human service organization full time, or if that is your practicum, you can choose that. You can also choose an organization that you worked at previously. So we want to be flexible in that case. I know with the pandemic, you may not want to choose your current organization because it may be difficult to reflect on if you're working virtually only, but feel free to use an organization from the past as well. Okay, so in your post, you're going to write 4 to 6 sentences identifying this agency and describing the organization. What is their vision and mission? Who do they serve, etc. And then you're going to write 4 to 6 sentences really describing your role in the organization. What do you do? But is your role a broker, a mediator, an advocate? As you know, social workers can play many, many roles in an organization. And so I want you to reflect on that. And that's really it for your initial post. You're going to do an investigation for your response posts. And also a reminder on that for week one, I've paired you with a peer. And if you look at the announcements, you'll see your partner. And so that is the person that you'll be responding to, both for the Anita case as well as this one where you're reflecting and getting to know an organization. So for your response post, you're going to read your peers' description of the organization and the role that they play, and then you're going to do a social media investigation, an online investigation of the presence of that organization. And then write 2 to 3 paragraphs summarizing what you found. And so I want you to also upload 3 pieces of evidence. This can be a photo from the website. You can take a screenshot and upload that, but make sure that you have those 3 attachments in your response post for getting to know an organization. In terms of what you should be thinking about and reflecting on as you're looking online for this evidence of this organization is really just what are the kinds of things that are you finding? Are you finding opinion articles? Are you finding that this organization is in the media a lot? Do they have press releases? What are the kinds of things that they're promoting online? In terms of their website, that would be the media presence. In terms of their website, does their website adequately describe what your partner has said they do for their mission and vision and their role? Some websites are fantastically updated every day. You could use their website even as a resource to further advocate for issues. And other websites, the organization may just not have the staff to manage and upkeep a website. And so you might just find it to be 1 or 2 pages, very, very basic information, and it may raise more questions than answer really what they do. From your perspective, as you're looking at both the media and the online presence of the organization, I want you to reflect on whether you think the leaders of the organization would be proud of what they're seeing. In some cases, some human service organizations have gotten some bad press or some been through some challenges, and so you might see some of that as well. Would you send a client to this organization based on what you're seeing online and in the media? And then also reflect on, would you go there as a client? I want you to describe if the media presence that you're seeing is a good fit for the organization based on what you know that they do from what your partner has said. Um, and that's pretty much it for that reflection piece. So, I'm curious. Sometimes, again, there can be a big gap between what that organization does and the service delivery that they're providing, and then their online and media presence. And so, the purpose of this is to really get to know an organization from actually 4 aspects. What that organization does, what role a social worker is playing in that organization, what their media presence is, and what their online web presence is. Some organizations also are on every platform, so make sure you take a look at whether they're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. I look forward to reading your posts. If you have any questions about either of these discussion posts, please send me an email on Canvas. If you email me over the weekend, I will be sure to get back to you by Monday. Please do give me 24 hours to respond to you. Although if I see it, which, I will be checking my email more frequently than once a day, but just as a rule of thumb, just in case I don't see it. All right. Good luck, and I look forward to reading your posts.